Hello. So sorry. I have a 4-month-old with me who has apparently someone has told her that she is getting shots. Hold on just one second. Hello. So sorry. I have a 4-month-old with me who apparently someone has told her that she is getting shots. Hold on just one second. Okay, that should be better now. I'm very sorry. I have a child with me, and she is getting shots in it shortly. And apparently somebody has told her, and she's very, very upset. So we will get this done and we will be done in about 25 minutes. So I don't know why there's Taylor Swift on my computer. Okay. First thing I want you to do is go to menti.com and enter the code 616772. And that'll give you this question right here. Directions right there at the top, menti.com. This is something you can use with your kids as well. So menti.com, 616772. You can do it on a device. You can do it in a different tab, whatever works for you. Tell me, how do you feel about Google Sheets? Oh. Here we go. Try that. All right, so we've got a lot of people that would say, what is Sheets? Or I know this, I know what it is, but maybe if you've got this, you might want to find somewhere else to go, because I'm gearing this towards more of the people that are the real basic learners. And again, this is menti.com. If you're interested in it, it's mentimeter.com. It'll give you about 15 presentations on the free version, and then you can upgrade. I just use the free version, and it gives you lots of different ways to get quick student feedback. So my name is Ellen Crum. I'm a third grade teacher at Pioneer Elementary School in the Kenton County School District. I'm a level 2 Google certified educator. I have been doing the G Suite for a year and a half in my classroom. So this is, I use Google Sheets not only for myself to keep all my data keeping, but I also use it with my kids as well. So let's start from the very beginning. What is Sheets? Sheets is a free spreadsheet application that is based in Google Drive. It's mostly the same functions as tools as Microsoft Excel, but there are some differences. With Excel, it's just desktop based. There are more powerful charts and tables in Excel. With Sheets, it's cloud based. No more carrying around that flash drive with you. And you can collaborate really easily around colleagues and with students as well. It does have a limit of 2 million cells. So if you're going to do over 2 million cells, you might need to go to Excel instead. Since I'm presenting this on my own, I will not be able to see the chat box. And again, sorry about the crying baby, trying very hard. I will stop early for questions, and I'll be able to go see that chat box after I stop this. So with Sheets, what I use it for is my grade books and my attendance and my sports rosters. I host 2 clubs at our school, so I use it for all my rosters and my attendance with that. We also use it with our data collection with all of our RTI, you can create graphs with the kids and have all that pretty data and make it all pretty so everybody can see it. Anything that you use Excel for, you can use Sheets for. There are already templates for grade books and attendance, so it makes it really, really easy. I really enjoy the Sheets application of grade books, and I use that instead of a traditional grade book or any of the online grade books. So the first thing you do to create a sheet is you either go to sheets.google.com or you hit the new button in Google Drive. When you hit new, and then you just jump down to where it says Sheets. When you get to sheets.google.com, you can press the plus button. The good thing about Google Apps is they all have the plus button, and it's usually in the bottom right-hand corner for every single app. When you're doing your sheets, there's a very good website that I got a lot of my information from to help share is benlcollins.com. And so I stole some of his images to share with you today. So when you have, when you are creating any new sheet, the first thing you need to start with is the title of the sheet. You rename it in the top left-hand corner where the red is, and that makes it easy for you to find it in your drive later. You've got your menu bars at the top like every other Google application. And then just like Excel, you've got your columns and you have your rows, and then you have your intersections, which gives each cell its name. So for example, if we're looking at column E in row 10, that cell right there with the intersection is called E10. So when we're doing, when you were creating a sheet, once you have a blank sheet and you are ready to start entering data or uploading from another source, the data is in there. You can sort, you can filter, you can rank, and you can average, and you can use a lot of other different filters. The first thing you do is you name your sheet so you can find it again, and then you enter your data into the cells. You click once to highlight the cell, and you click twice to enter the cell and actually start entering data. If you ever get stuck in a cell and you can't seem to get out, hit the escape button and it'll put you right out of that cell. You can also hit enter to go to the cell underneath to the next row. If you ever make a mistake, Control Z to undo, or the undo button on the menu bar. I have an anchor chart in my classroom that I have the take control anchor chart, and one of the big ones that my kids use is Control Z because they're always worried about messing up. So when we're formatting, to select a row or column, you click on the number for the rows or the letters for the column of the row, and you want to select. This will highlight that entire row or that entire column to indicate where you have selected it. You can change the width of a column or the height of a row. You hover the cursor over the gray line and for the edge, and then you drag it and make it as big as small as you want. You can also double click when you have data entered to make it as large as the largest piece of data. So we've got that sorting data. We always wanted to sort data because it's awesome. It helps you draw conclusions easily, and you can sort it alphabetically. You can sort it from lowest to highest or number, or from highest to lowest. It also allows for quick ranking of data or sorting for student names, quickly entering grades to any LMS when students are in alphabetical order. So as a third grade teacher, we do not have letter grades yet, but I use that grade book, and I'm able to print that out in the template that is already uploaded in Sheets. Does have the ability to have that it graphs the grades for you. So that's really nice, especially when it comes to parent meetings, that you can print out those grades really easily for those parents. When you filter data, it allows you to quickly isolate a few things that you're looking for. For example, scores, range, certain topics, and maybe even looking for a student. To filter, you click on data in the menu and then add a filter, and the filter will now be on all the cells. So just here you go data and then create a filter, and you can filter in your cells. To share a sheet, this is if you're sharing a grade book with a colleague or with a principal or any other administrator, you click on the blue share button, enter an email address, and choose your sharing setting. Make sure that when you share something, if you just want them to see it and not do anything else with it, you select view. Edit will give them rights to add, delete, and change anything that you have in there. And comment allows them to see it and also add comments. So it's almost like a chat box in the actual sheet. When you're looking and collaborating with Sheets, more than one person can work on the same sheet at the same time, the same with all Google Apps. Everyone with the sharing option will always have the most up-to-date file. That's one better thing about Sheets than Excel is because you don't have to email back and forth or trade flash drives or anything. And you can always see the revisions, every revision that's ever been made, and you can restore all revisions with the file version history. This is something that's common after all Google apps. And if you are sharing or have a group project going on, that's always nice to see the version history to see what students are doing what. Okay, so quick overview. I know, the poor baby. Okay, so I am not an expert by any means on Sheets. The best thing that I have learned over the years working with Google Apps is, I finally got her to eat. Now she's mad that she finished her bottle. So the best thing that I have learned with using Google Apps is just getting into it and playing with it. So there are so many opportunities for students and you as well. Goodness gracious. Yeah, shush your sister. So what other questions do we have about Sheets? Thank you, sis. Yeah, Robin, I found the anchor chart on Pinterest, I believe, and it just said get control. And I have the control C, control V, control Z on there. How do we use RTI for Sheets for RTI data collection? We use it school-wide, and our RTI team gives it to us, or we're able to plug in our information. So you can just easily create those charts and everything like they do with the special education as well with data tracking. So it gives you a visual that you can take to RTI. So just entering in your data points on Sheets and then creating a chart. What types of activities do I do with Sheets with my students? I'm the reading teacher. So when I taught math, we would create data. I would allow them to go around and they would create a table in with their data, and then choosing if they want to do a line graph or a bar graph, and showing them how they do that. I love it too, Lori. It's great too because you can put the kids in small groups, and when they collect their data, that they can share and create and answer questions. And I had them this year. We were doing review. Had them create their charts, and then they would type out questions, and the kids and they would rotate and answer the questions for them. And the screaming baby is now laying on the floor and giggling at me. So she apparently just had to ruin it for a little bit. I'll show you let me turn my screen share back on. So when you can also go to the waffle and open up Sheets that way. So you can go to sheets.google.com. If you're logged into Chrome, you can just go to the waffle and automatically. And the best thing about Google is it saves right there in your Google Drive, and you can choose where to save it. And if you're like me and have 50 million files, then you can save it to a folder. It depends on which folder. So up here, when you open Sheets, you have all the different template galleries that Google creates for you. As I was saying, I use Gradebook. So this one right here is really awesome. It creates, you just enter the kids' names and it'll create the graphs and everything for you and show you and you can change the averages and all that, and shows you what kids are where, and you can have a summary page for each kid as well. So when you are starting a new sheet, again, just press the plus button. And first thing first, always name your sheet. It's up here in the top left-hand corner where it says Untitled Spreadsheet. I think my network is on overload today with doing all my different video sharing. So you always want to name your spreadsheet, whatever it is, so you can find it again. If nobody has told you yet, the best thing about Drive is this right here, Search Drive, because you can search everything and even what type. So you just start typing the name and you'll be able to find it where it is, because sometimes I lose mine. When you are, and all you have to do is enter your data and have it organized. Again, sizing, just change them, drag them left, right, drag them up and down to make it big or small or whatever you would like to do. And you have all your formatting up here with what looks like, how big it is, bold, italic, strike through, what colors it is, if you want to fill them, if you want to show your borders. Oh, that's fun stuff. And you have all your functions here. So you have your sum, your average, your count, your max, your min, all sorts of functions to go along with Sheets, whatever you want it to do. Hopefully you feel a little bit more comfortable. All right, so what do we think about Sheets? Anybody have any more questions about that? My suggestion to you is to go in and play with it as much as you can and see what you can learn from it and see what you can share with it. The other thing that works well with Sheets is Google Forms. So if you are using Google Forms for, quizzes or anything like that, you can, it will give you all of the responses in a Google Sheet, and you can manipulate the data that way as well. So I hope you got at least one thing from this. And when you I know it's short, but Sheets is pretty easy and pretty self-explanatory. But when you're looking for your next, yes, share. Okay, there we go. You're looking at the slide deck for the next, you've got all these to look at as well. So thank you guys for joining me for a short, sweet little session on Google Sheets. And I hope that you are able to figure it out yourself. If you need any help, I will be glad to help you with whatever I can. The best thing that I've been doing is just playing with it. And Google also has a great set that helps that you are able to see. And it's got videos and reading tutorials under there with their Google Education. Heather, we use Infinite Campus as well, but we, being in third grade, we're not we don't do letter grades. So I keep it for myself. I keep like their spelling tests and their reading tests and any flashback, anything that I give a grade on to get them ready for for later on. And after using Infinite Campus for 10 years, I've learned to keep my grades in two places because sometimes it likes to disappear. So if you want to use it for double duty, then you have it in alphabetical order. It's easy to do. It's easy to to put your data in Infinite Campus as well. And the Sheets does give you the graphs, the pretty graphs and everything. What other ways I use Sheets is I just mainly for my data collection, but I also use it for my attendance to keep my attendance records and to and for my after school activities. And then also it collects my data off of forms. All right, guys, thanks so much. And hopefully you all will be able to learn a lot from all the wonderful presenters that we have this afternoon, and you enjoy your next two sessions. Thank you so much for joining us at our first annual, hopefully annual digital event.